Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Purity K for those who don't know me, and if you're new here, kindly subscribe down below and don't forget to click the notification bell so that when I upload a new video you'll be the first person to watch. And if you're my returning subscriber, amazing. Thank you so much for coming back. Wow. So in today's video, as per the topic down below, so I'll be taking you guys through some of the experiences I've had when looking for the nannies, the house helps, of course. So it's story time. I remember when I was pregnant, I didn't have a nanny for the entire period. And my elder sister joined me when I was around 8 months pregnant. Yeah, so she came basically to help me with one or two things, at least to take me through the last period of pregnancy until I gave birth to my baby, because basically I didn't have experience about having a baby, birthing a baby or whichever. So she came basically at least to show me things around that. So I remember she was there until my labor day, until I gave birth. Then unfortunately she had to leave me after the baby was born, and the baby was now 1 month old. So wow, the story starts. So before she went, we decided, because now I was going to remain without anyone helping me from one thing or the other, so we decided that we need to look for a nanny. So the first thing we said, we were going to contact some of our relatives and also some of our friends to try and see if we can really get a good nanny, because actually also I hadn't had any nanny before. So that was also going to be a new experience for me. So we started making calls. We called our friends, our relatives back at home, but unfortunately we couldn't get one. So fortunate enough, there's one lady who used to be a nanny to a friend of mine. So I remember her number. So I just woke up one day in the morning, then I remembered, then I decided to call her. So she used to come from Mombasa. So I called her, then I told her, oh, Nini, I need a nanny. I'll be paying this amount. So if you know someone, please just connect me, because I need one as soon as possible. So I couldn't be left here alone without a nanny, of course, because I had not healed real well. So I needed someone who can maybe wash for me or do 1 or 3, because already I knew how to handle a baby. So she told me she would give me a call. Then now, unfortunately, my sister then had to leave the next day in the morning. Then now, boom, it had to hit me. So I had to remain here, wash, do this, baby, whatever. I need to catch some sleep, the baby crying overnight, so many things. So that was really hard for me. So then the lady called me back after 4 days, of course. So when she called me, she told me that she had gotten a certain lady who she thinks would be a good fit for me. Me nayo ni nani. I had to send fare mbio so that the lady can come. Then the lady came from Mombasa. You know Mombasa people. So I think I didn't have a really bad experience with this lady, because you know how respectful the people from Mombasa are. Yay to them. Wow. So she was just a nice lady. Then she loved my baby. She was a woman who was already having 3 children, of course. So to me, she was having a very good experience in terms of taking care of babies. So we stayed until my baby was around 5 months. So I had to go back to work when my baby was almost 4 months. Yeah, because I have a full-time job. So I had to go back to work. So I can really say I really had a very good experience with her, because even when I was at work, she would call me, give me updates of the baby even before I called back. So she was really a nice one. Back at home, she was so much respectful, and that is one of my nannies that I would really want to have even at now. So I remember that what made her go is she was actually, I didn't tell you guys, she was a widow as well. So her children, she left with her I think the mother to the husband, the mother-in-law is the one who was staying with the children. So I think something happened back home that made her to go back. So when she had to go back, she told me she would go back, then check on the children and find out what is really the problem. So if things go well, she would come back. So unfortunately, me as a working woman, I couldn't wait for her, but even though I yearned for her to come back. So I had to look for another nanny I think after 3 days. So I had to get someone. So I made calls. There's a friend of mine who connected me with a certain woman just here in Nairobi. So she told me this woman usually gets nannies for people. So if you call her, she would give you someone. So fortunately enough, I called the woman and boom, there was a lady who was already there who was waiting for work. She was a form 4 leaver and she was an orphan as well. So she needed this job, at least for her to save. Then I also, she had a baby as well. I think she gave birth when she was in form 3. So when the lady came, I can't complain much also about her, because she used to do her work really well. She loved my baby. Actually, she made my baby do so many things. I remember the first person who had to plait my baby's hair was her, and she really did it so well, and the baby could not even cry in my presence. So I really loved that. She was doing her job really well. So the only problem I had with her is that she usually I usually made sure that she's having an off on a Sundays. So when she's in the house, she's just dressing so nicely, so respectful, you get. Then now when she's going for her off days, that is on Sundays, wow, the lady would dress so well going. Then now when she's coming back, she is a different person. Then that went on and on. Then some Sundays, maybe then she all of a sudden she started to be so much busy on her phone. So at some point you'd find her, the baby seated there, the baby's crying, then she's just on her phone chatting. So those are some of the stuff that made me not to like her a bit towards the end of my journey with her. So I remember most of my friends used to come to the house, then look at her, then how she used to handle herself. She was so clean. She would wake up, wash herself, then makeup, my friend. So me, I'm here, I've employed someone, but she's doing makeup, yani more than me. So you'd be like, whoa. So I think I really didn't like that, but I had to stay true to her because I needed her at some point. Then now my friends had to advise me that lady wouldn't stay because she's not here she's here maybe for a mission, I don't know. So wow, bad me. I had to follow the advices of my friends and the lady had to go, unfortunately. I really don't remember what I told her. I don't know, because one of the off days when she had gone, then I think I just decided to call her and I told her that, oh, I think I've gotten an emergency and I'm not around, so when I come back I will let you know so that you come. Then now she was so happy actually because I told her that I don't know what she was up to. So then I just stayed. So I think in this period, of course, I did not go anywhere. So I had already gotten a different nanny. So after a week, I called her back. Then I told her I came back, but unfortunately, from wherever place I was, I came back with a different nanny because now she's like a family to me. So I will not be paying her. So I think I was going to cut cost for that. Bad me. I had to lie. Oops, sorry. So I told her to come one of the Sundays so that she can come and pick her stuff. Imagine she has not come up to today. Hajawai kuja. So her clothes have been here, nini. So that is another story altogether. So then the lady who came now after her, I think she was a 22-year-old girl, and I really don't know what happened to her. She came from the western part of Kenya. She was really bad. I can't say anything because compared to the first 2 nannies that I had in terms of work and whichever experiences, I think she wasn't doing a good job. It was really bad. So I remember it gotten to a point that I would send her to do something, then she would be like, I'm tired, I'm not doing. Then she's just seated. Sometimes she just seated there watching TV, so she's waiting for you to tell her what to do. You get, like, you have to instruct her, do this, do this, do this, do this. you have to tell her everything. So then they did not bond with my baby. So that was also another thing. So I remember when she came, the baby could cry because I don't know. So it was really a bad experience for me. So she stayed for only 2 months actually. Then one day, Sasa, what made her leave? Unfortunately, I remember one day when I was going to work in the morning, I told her, hey, Nanny, please make sure during your cleaning time today, make sure you remove the things from the drawer, then you wipe that place so well, then you return them, so that I'll be coming with some things that I need to put in the upper drawer. So make sure that place is clean. So when I came back from work, then I found that place was not clean. Then I think on top of the gas there was some dirt or some food that I don't know what really happened. So I questioned her, because since we started staying, I really don't like talking much. When I see that something is wrong somewhere, because I believe my house is my house. So when I see something is wrong somewhere, I can go and do it myself. I rather go and do it myself. Then once I've done it, then I call her. I tell her, this is what you ought to have done. So going forward, you should be doing this. So not that. So we had never had any quarrels before. So I had to question her. So I was like, I told you that you wipe these things off, but you didn't. So I don't know what really happened that made her just kasirika like that. So I remember I questioned her, then she was like, really? That is what you can tell me? Gee, what? So she started talking of so many things. So I also got mad. Then me, when I'm mad, I don't talk. So I think she didn't like that. Then I think she was someone who was ready to do something else. So she just sat on the seat. Then she decided to tell me that I'll be leaving tomorrow in the mornings. Then I was like, what? What did you just say? And that day I was to go to work in the morning. So that was so hard for me, but I had to take it. So me, because it was towards the end of the month, it was around 20 something there. So I had to give her her money. Then she just decided to go the next day in the morning. Then I was left there. I didn't go to work. So I had to call my boss to blah, blah, blah. So then I think I stayed for around 1 week without a nanny. Completely. And that was the hardest part for me, because I had to go to work, but I had to stay at home as well. So that was so sad. So I think I looked for a nanny. That was the hardest part for me, trying to find a nanny. Then now there's a lady again who connected me to these bureau ladies. So she told me, if you go there, you'd find a girl who would come to work for you. So I went, I picked that lady's mama's call. Then I called her. Then she told me, we are located in such and such a place, so please come so that you can find, because we have several ladies here, so you have to come yourself physically, then you pick the one you want for yourself. So I remember I went. Then when I got there, I found so many ladies. There were around 10. So another thing, I was supposed to do interviews for them, so that I can get to choose the one that I want. So I think I got inside. She told me some of the terms and conditions. I think I was supposed to pay. I paid around 3,000, so that my pay would be 1,500. Then the lady, after I've taken a nanny from there, then in her first salary, I was supposed to deduct again 1,500. I interviewed ladies. So I didn't have any experience about that as well. I didn't know what to ask these ladies, because basically I had no experience of interviewing a nanny. Wow. So they came in. So I remember me was just asking, oh, what's your name? Where do you come from? Umefika class ngapi? So those are some of the questions I asked, like, do you have any experience of being a nanny? Like, how many years did you take there? What made you leave Vitukama Hizo? So that are the stuff that I asked. Wow. Then finally I ended to a point of choosing one. So after I chosen one, we came home. So we came home. Now the story starts. Immediately we got at the door. My daughter saw the nanny. She cried. My daughter is those kind of babies who doesn't, like, if she doesn't know you, you will not carry her. You will not even say hi to her. I don't know. I really don't know. So my baby just started crying. Like, there was no love at first sight. So I was like, will they really stay? and my husband was also there. So my husband was so much worried. Then me nayo ni nani, I had to go to work the next day in the morning, and the lady came today. So I remember we just got to the house. I did some little orientation for her. This is what we do. The things are here. The shopping are here. This is how you cook. The sufurias and whichever. So I took her all through everything. Then now the journey starts. So I remember they never clicked with my baby. Completely. Even after 1 week, even after 2 weeks, they never clicked with my baby. Each and every, yani, their journey, her story with my baby was come and bathe, come and eat, come and do this. Lakini ile ya the baby is seated there, then the nanny should be carrying the baby, they are enjoying themselves there, or you find her, she's laughing with my baby somewhere, or she's taking my baby maybe outside to see that was not there completely. So I was so much worried, but my husband was worried more than me, because that was really a bad experience. So sometimes it will, because my husband's work is really flexible, he can either go to the office or not go. So sometimes you would find him staying back at home. At least he would rather work back at home for him to take care of the baby, because now the baby is not comfortable sitting around the nanny. So that was really a bad experience for me. So this lady, definitely she wasn't good for me. So I remember one day I was at work, then my husband was at home. I think he was having a meeting. Then I think after the meeting, in the middle of the meeting, then the baby woke up, because the baby had been sleeping, I think, from around 1 p.m. Then the baby had woken up. It was around 3. Then he stayed with the baby for, I think, more than an hour. Then all of a sudden, boom, so he started worrying. I've not seen Nanny for such a long time. Funny, where did she go? And the baby woke up. The baby is here, has not been fed. So he decided to call me, because definitely didn't have the number to this nanny, of course. So he decided to call me like, hey babe, where is Nanny? Did you send Nanny somewhere? Because she has not been here for the past 3 hours, and I can't see her, and the baby is awake, and I don't know what to do, and I'm in the middle of a meeting, So I decided to call the lady, and she could not pick my calls, like 5 good calls. So we got worried. Then I told my husband, can you go and check if her things are there? My husband went, then the things were not there. And that is how she went. Then now, let me tell you a story. When she joined me, I had her ID, imagine. And I still have it. So I was like, how would someone go to someone's house? I have your ID, and you need to leave, then you're leaving your ID behind. Who does that? Definitely. Who does that? We are only human beings. And I'm not keeping you in my house forever. We all have our own issues to sort out. So if you just come and talk to me, you tell me, Purity, this is this and this and this, and this is the reason why I have to go. What should I do? Where she went, and that is how she went. And a different episode again for me to get a new nanny. What a bad experience. So that was really sad. Oops, I've not told you guys. This very day that this lady went and left my baby sleeping, do you know I had paid her in the morning, and actually that was her first pay. So definitely she stayed with us with only like a month. Yeah, so that was her first pay. Then good me, I remember I asked her, because I was supposed to pay her, it was on a Tuesday, so I was supposed to pay her in the evening. Then due to me coming to work, then I'm so much tired, I forgot. So in the morning when I was going to work, I remembered I was supposed to pay her. Then I called her, so I asked her a question. Remember, I'm supposed to deduct 1,500 from your salary. So because now you need this money, I think you tell me, should I deduct or should I deduct it in your next salary? And she told me, please just deduct in my next salary, because actually I wanted to do something. She went with my money, and I've never gotten my money back. So that was really bad for me. So I remember in the process of getting a different nanny again, well, that one ate my fare. I sent her money, then she did not turn up. Then it turned out that she was trying to flee away from the husband to come and work. So the husband actually kept on calling her number, because now she was not picking my calls. Then again, sorry, she was not picking my calls. Then I couldn't find her. Then now, several hours later in the evening, someone called me with a new number. Who? The husband clearly showed me like, you want to take my wife? You want to go and make my wife a prostitute? So oops, prostitute. Imagine. So that was one of the baddest experience for me. Then now that went on, I stayed home for 1 week without having a nanny. That was really bad for me because now I had to work. I was working from home at the same time, taking care of the baby, at the same time cooking, and at the same time washing and doing all those things. So it was so hard for me. Then now, God ni nanny. God gave me my current nanny. She's really nice, and the person who connected me to this nanny is one of my most really good friends. She's like a sister to me. Like, oops, wherever you are, ciao ciao, I really love you so much. So she connected me to this, like, my current nanny, and it turned out she's a mother of 5 children. And if you look at her, she's really young. So what I love about her, she really know what brought her to this work, you know. Yani she needs this job because she came to work because she knows this money she's looking for. She's looking for this money for something, you get. So she's doing her job perfectly well. Then the good thing enough, my baby doesn't like people, but the very day that she stepped into my house, first love, they just clicked. Like, immediately she carried the baby and they were at the balcony playing and doing what have you, and I was really so much, I was amazed by that. So that was really nice for me. So at least my heart cooled down a bit. Sorry, I ought to have had some water so that I can be sipping when I'm speaking, because this really, but we're almost done, of course. So she's been really a good nanny to my baby, and I really thank God for her, and I hope she will not go because she's really doing a nice job for you. So I think that is part of my story with nannies. So you can comment down below and let me know what has been your bad experience or good experience with your nannies, and how many nannies you've had since you started getting nannies to your house. So you please comment down below, because I really value your feedback. And also, this is part 1 of nannies, so I want you to stay tuned for part 2, because it will be coming up in a week time. So in part 2, I'll be taking you guys on some of the mistakes we do when onboarding these nannies. Then also I'll be taking you guys through some of the stuffs in your house that you shouldn't let a nanny do for you, especially when you're married. So stay tuned for those 2 topics, because it will be a really amazing learning for you guys, because me, I'll be speaking from experience, of course, and also from stuff that I've been hearing, like, oh, my nanny is spreading my bed. How did your nanny spread your bed where you sleep with your husband? So stay tuned for more of that in my next video, and please don't forget to subscribe down below, because I love you so much, and turn on the notification bell so that when I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to watch. And I think you can hear my baby in the background. So ciao ciao, see you in my next video.